What's the story, lads? Welcome to the Acuro Fitness 8-week conditioning program designed by me, Coach Darren. So I'm going to be working with you over these next 8 weeks to build the engine so you have a successful season ahead of you, right? Hopefully injury-free, fit as fiddles, right? We're going to get straight into this program here to the contents. This will all be sent on to you. I'm just giving you a quick little webinar here to run through it, give you a deeper understanding of what's contained within the program. So our contents contains the program, the warm-up and exercises, and weeks 1 through to week 8. Now, the handy thing about these, they're all links to pages. So if you click on week 2, it will teleport you to week 2 in the PDF. So you don't have to keep scrolling, because we're not looking to work out our fingers here, lads. We're looking to work out the old cardiovascular system and the legs. So we're moving on to the actual program. There are 3 types of sessions you will perform, okay? Rebound sessions, stimulation sessions, and development sessions. So a rebound session is the least intense. The reason for this is so the body can recover from any fatigue that has built up. You will aim for 70% efforts on rebound days, light activity, lads. Now we'll look at our stimulation sessions. These are the sessions where you start to increase the volume in the form of reps, sets, rounds, and reduced rest periods. You will also increase efforts to between 80% and 100% on your stimulation days. And the hardest days, the most intense, is the development sessions. And this is the most intense with max efforts of 100% on everything, and the most challenging reps, sets, rounds, and reduced rest periods. So let's have a look here at our next page, which is the weekly schedule. So lads, this is just an example. This isn't exactly how you should lay it out, but it's a good example to follow. Okay, so the training week is modulated. This is to create stimulus on certain days while also having recovery periods so the body can adapt. So if you look at Monday, we have a stimulation session booked in, and this requires a rebound day afterwards to aid recovery from this session. And then we stimulate again on Wednesday. We follow this with a development session on Thursday. And this is the session which will stimulate the most adaptations in the body. However, this session will generate the most amount of fatigue. So we take extra rebound and rest days to fully recover for next week's training. So let's talk about this example layout here. So we've got Monday on, Tuesday off, Wednesday on, Thursday on, big time, Friday, Saturday, Sunday off from heavy training. So what's good about this is the first kind of half of the week to the middle of the week is building to a peak session, right? And then the second half of the week is complete rest and rejuvenation focused. So this is a good example to follow. But what I'd recommend in this plan, if you can even just get 1 rebound, 1 stimulation, and 1 development session a week, that would be brilliant. That would be great if you could just get 1 of each, okay? So we'll move on to our warm-up and exercises. There's a few clickable links here, lads, to help you out. And if you're watching this on your phone, hopefully it's handy enough for you. You click on these, it'll automatically open your YouTube app and it'll show you a tutorial of me just demonstrating some of the moves so you can better understand what we're doing here. And you can always reference this then 24/7 whenever you want. If you're going over the park on your own, you can just bring the phone, bam, have a look, you know, and or even just sitting at home while you're eating your dinner, you can just have a look so that you know what to expect. So first off is our warm-up, okay? So it's split into 3 sections. The first section is priming the body. So we do a light jog for 2 minutes, get the lungs opened up and get the heart rate slightly elevated, followed by 20 calf pumps into plyo knees, bounds and skaters. So again, click me, that shows you all them moves. The second part of the warm-up is our leg swings on each side, and we do a greatest stretch on each side. Again, you see the click me, that'll take you to the tutorial vid. And then finally, we finish up with a bit of power work in the end of the warm-up, a 3-second, 100% sprint effort, followed by a 10-second jog. And you only do that 3 times, lads. It's not there to build up fatigue or to do anything else other than just a bit of an expression of power at the end of the warm-up to really prime you for the intense sessions you're going to be doing. Okay, underneath that is our exercises. So we have shuffles, mountain climbers, and burpees are 3 of the exercises we'll utilize in this program, as well as running and sprinting, which, you know, I don't need to do a video on that. I'm sure you are probably better at that than me. Okay, so again, click me on this thumbnail image here. Will take you to a tutorial, and the tutorial actually shows you what the moves look like slower. So to build the technique, you can do them a bit slower. But it also gives you an example of what they should look and feel like at 100% intensity too, okay? Then the last couple of exercises we do is a half a pitch run. A half a pitch run will always be a sprint, okay? A full pitch run, this will be done at 100% effort. And an active rest will always be walking while recovering. Just a quick note on this. Some people will ask, is a sprint not 100% effort? Well, it kind of is and it isn't. A sprint is maximum output, okay? Your maximum output. You can sustain max output for, let's say, between 5, 10, or even up to 12 seconds if your alactic system is well developed. But after that, you may be giving it 100% effort, but you're not getting 100% output anymore. So your speed slightly drops. You kind of lose that edge after the first few seconds of running. And that's when a full pitch run is not just a sprint, because you'll slightly lose a bit of speed at some stage, but you will still be doing 100% effort. So that's just the difference there in this program. So now we're going to go into week 1. So I won't be keeping you too much longer, right? Once you understand the layout of 1 week, you can understand the layout of all of them, okay? Because the layout's the same. It's just things that will change will be reps, rounds, or rest. And just keep an eye on them depending on what week you're on. Make sure to follow them strictly, because they're kind of periodized so that one runs into the other. And so just pay attention to that, okay? So first, rebound sessions. We have some options, right? We can do a 2 to 5K light jog. I'll emphasize this now, lads. It's got to be a light jog, okay? And before you start this program, it'd be perfect if you could do a 2 to 5K as a light jog, even just breathing through the nose, taking a handy. We're not looking to break any records here. We're just looking to get a light little elevation of the heart rate for a sustained period of time. This is going to aid recovery as well as maintain our aerobic foundation. Another option on a rebound day would be a hike, a swim, or a cycle. So if you go on a hike on the weekend, walk the dog, if you cycle to work, or if you swim to work, whatever suits you, whatever floats your boat. And then if you don't know what to do for a rebound session on a rebound day, I included one here, right? So it's a very light, handy session, lads. It's a 70% effort mountain climbers for 10 seconds, and then 50 seconds jogging on the spot active rest. Do it for 12 to 15 rounds, which will take you 12 to 15 minutes. Bing, bang, bosh, get it done, jump in the shower, start your day, or get it done later on in the evening, whatever suits yourselves, lads. So we're going to get down to business now. A stimulation session is the next one. We have 2 options, okay? Now, I would prioritize the first option with the sprint when you can, okay? So if you can make it to a football pitch or a local park, do so. Or if you're doing it in your training sessions, just use your own pitch. So it starts off with a 100% effort sprint for half the length of a pitch. Straight away, that'll be followed by a walk and active rest of 1 minute and 10 seconds. You'll do this for 6 rounds, okay? Now, the first few of these should feel fairly handy because you get enough rest and you're sprinting for half a pitch, okay? So at the beginning, it's not really to build up lots of fatigue here. And the first half of this session, the first 3 to 4 rounds of it, will be an expression of your power, okay? Expressing your maximum output on the sprints, okay? And as you go through this conditioning program and you use some of the strength program with it, these all complement each other and they should increase your maximum output. So your top sprint speed and your off the line speed and being able to cover half a pitch should all increase as we progress through the program. And an option for this, if you can't make it outside and you're in the gaff, you can do maximum effort mountain climbers, okay? 40 reps, followed by the same active rest, 1 minute, 10 seconds, 6 rounds the same. And then we get down to our development session. This is the biggest bang for our buck session of the week, but it also generates the most amount of fatigue. So be careful where you put these in, depending on what you might or might not be doing the next day after them, because recovery is vital after these. We're going to do 20 shuffles and 100% full pitch run, okay, and 20 burpees. And we'll follow that with a walk and active rest for 2 minutes. We're only doing 4 rounds on this, lads, right? So week 1, the rounds aren't too high, the volume's not too high, because it's more so to introduce your body to this stimulus. So we don't want to hit you with like 20 rounds, 10 rounds and stuff from the beginning, because then you're going to generate so much fatigue. You're going to need even longer rests. So there's no point in that, okay? We need to keep ourselves that we have enough volume and stimulus in the sessions that we can recover within a few days to then go do them again. And then we get more sessions in and we get fitter, we build the engine quicker. Here's an example of week 2. So this is an example of how it will progress. In week 1, we done 6 rounds of our stimulation sessions. So in week 2, keep it simple. We do 8. We just add 2 on. Same for our development session. We went from 4 rounds to 6 rounds. So we go to week 3. The only difference, we're adding 2 more rounds again, except in our stimulation sessions. Our stimulation sessions will sometimes stay the same because we are focusing on output. So even though the rounds are the same, you may find that you are covering the pitch a little bit quicker, which means you are doing more than you did last time. So that's why that one stays the same. The development session, though, is all about building up that volume. So we will increase the rounds on them every week. Week 4 is the middle peak, as I call it. We're in the middle of the program at the end of week 4. And we want to get a little small peak where we do, let's say, 10 rounds development, 10 rounds stimulation, okay? And then we're going to go into the second half of the program where we're going to change the protocols a little bit. So week 5 is the beginning of the second half. Now you may notice a difference here, especially in the rest periods and the rounds. So our rounds have dropped from 10 now to 6. So if you look just the rounds, it looks like we're going backwards. It looks like we're doing less. People go, what's the crack with that? Well, we are and we aren't. We're doing less total volume, okay? But the rest periods are shorter, okay? Let's go back to week 4. 1 minute and 10 seconds in our stimulation sessions has now become just 60 seconds, okay? And in our development sessions, 2 minutes has now become 1 minute 45 seconds. So we're looking to get less rest, which means we have to recover faster to perform again. So we reduce the rounds, and now what we do is with this new rest period, we build the rounds up again like we did in the first 4 weeks until eventually we reach our peak week at the end of the program, which is week 8, lads. Big volume week, okay? So prepare yourself, try and get the food on point before these sessions and stuff, and make sure your rest days are on point after week 7, because going into week 8, it's like, the championship rounds here, And then after you complete this massive volume, then generally what we would do is we will retest any of the markers we tested at the start, whether it's strength endurance, whether it's running speed over a specific distance, all these sorts of things we will test at the beginning. So then they can be retested at the end and we can see the progress we've made. Okay, so I hope this is helpful, lads, and I hope that just gave you a bit more of an in-depth look in how the program's going to roll out and how it's going to be used. So I'll be in touch with you, lads. You can email me. You all have my email. You can DM me on Instagram is a real great way to get me. I'll reply really quick there too. And I'll be seeing you anyway throughout the program. So if you have any questions, don't be afraid to ask, lads. There are no stupid questions, right? There's a lot of stuff in this, a lot of info. You're going to gain a lot of knowledge from it, as well as increasing your fitness. And to even increase that knowledge further, asking questions is a great thing, right? So best of luck, lads.